Thank you, Dr. Rajendra Kumar ji, dignitaries on the dais, and friends. At the outset, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology for giving me an opportunity to share some of our initiatives, and that we intend to link up with the CSCs specifically. Friends, in fact, as you know that whatever the initiatives the department has taken up is specifically targeted towards development. And this development has to have a continuum process of learning as it is being offered to various target groups. As I was listening, and in fact, first time I was getting to know that how this is being penetrated to the rural areas, whether it is education, banking, insurance, or any other services, common services, whatever is available to the citizens of India. But for that, definitely, the digital literacy is equally important. In our country, particularly when I say that when we have 74% people are literate, but that literacy has to be a functional literacy. And that functional literacy can be defined only through if a person is able to deliver certain things which is expected out of him. And keeping in view the technological development, the revolution that has taken place over the years, and without knowing the basic components related to how to manage your activity using digital technology is impossible. I'm sure that in this country, every household must be having a mobile telephone. There is no doubt about it. And even an illiterate person will be having mobile telephone. I can give you an example, very concrete example. I was just waiting in the All India Medical Institute corridor to consult a doctor. And suddenly, a lady, maybe remote part of Bihar, she was just standing and was trying to, there was a telephone call came, and unfortunately it got disconnected. She knew that how to switch on that on button, but she had to call back in that number. She did not know how to call back. She was trying that, she knew that how to call back, of course, derive that particular number and call back, but that also she was unable to get connected. So she wanted to make another call to somebody else, for which she was not knowing the key digits. So she came to me and asked me, "Beta, थोड़ा सा मदद कर दोगे, नंबर लगा देना." मैंने बोला, "माता जी, आप तो टेलीफोन तो अभी कर रहे थे, आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम, दिक्कत क्या है?" ना, मैं तो टेलीफोन रिसीव कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन नया नंबर नहीं लगा सकता। सो मुझे आप थोड़ा सा नया नंबर एक है, लगा दीजिए। मैंने बोला, "बताइए नंबर क्या है?" सो शी गेव ए चिट, टुक आउट ए चिट एंड गेव टू मी, कि ये है नंबर, लगा दीजिए। आई ऑफ कोर्स डायल्ड, फिर उसका बात हो गया। बात होने के बाद मैंने पूछा कि ये मोबाइल आपका है या आप किसी से लाए हैं? नहीं, मेरा मोबाइल है, ये तो मेरा बेटा ने मुझे दिया था। ना, क्वेश्चन इज, मैंने पूछा कहाँ तक आपने पढ़ा है? ना, मैंने पढ़ाई तो कुछ नहीं किया है। फिर आप कैसे मोबाइल यूज करते हो? मोबाइल कैसे यूज करना है उसके बारे में मुझे जानकारी है। नया नंबर जो लगाना है अंग्रेजी वाला, वो मुझे मालूम नहीं, हिंदी वाला होता तो शायद मैं कर लेती। These are the type of things. So what I wanted to say out of the lesson is that every household in this country has mobile telephone. Now we have to help them how to use that particular instrument for their livelihood. I think if this is done, then the learning for development, what we are talking, is achieved. Whatever the initiative department is taking for disseminating the digital literacy will be successful if we reach out to those people who are really unreached. Those unreached are really in the rural areas. Now my question is This is when we started our initiative with Common Services Center, and we had a discussion, initial discussion with Dr. Tyagi, and we thought that we should use this 1 lakh network of CSCs, whatever is available with the department. We should use that for our basic intention was only for the awareness purpose. Let me tell you very honestly, in the beginning we thought of having developing a kind of awareness through this CSC. But later on I thought that this awareness will not be sufficient. We must use it like NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling, is one of the 3 national level boards that is available in the country, CBSE, ICSE, and National Institute of Open Schooling. The certificates issued primarily by NIOS has the equivalency with CBSE and ICSE as well. But what we thought, we have introduced the 100% online admission process. Any child joining in NIOS for secondary, senior secondary courses shall have to apply through the online mode. But there are a majority of the people who are not familiar with they don't have the access to computer. They don't have rural areas, where do you have computer to put your application online? So we thought that can we use that particular facility which is available, through which they can be facilitated to submit their application online. Of course, I'm saying that it doesn't mean that when we say 100% online admission, we don't have offline, we don't accept any offline application form. We do accept offline application form, and we convert them into the online mode. Only because we want to reach to reach our target dates. Our target dates are so steep that we have, unless we have the computerized database, we will not be able to meet those target dates, whether it is dispatching the study material, whether it is organizing the classes, whether it is filling up the examination form, whether it is undertaking the practical activities, whether it is conducting the examination, result declaration, whatever it may be. All these, we work like an industry. So all these things are interlinked. Unless you have a huge database, we have 2.5 million children. How much time you will take if you do the activities manually? So obviously you need a database which has to be generated using a particular technology. Now question, or with the support of the technology. We are thankful to the CSCs that we have signed the MOU, and we are putting the system into the place and ensuring that in the remote rural areas, the children, if those who have dropped out from the education system, formal education system, and they want to have a second, means they are given a second opportunity to complete their education cycle, if they could be tapped into this. These are the students who are sitting here. I was seeing some of them, their profiles also I was looking at. And I find that many of them have 10th pass, many of them, of course, 12th pass. Those who have done 12th pass is fine. Those who have not done their 12th can come and join through this particular system. Now, our purpose is not limited to the governance part which we wanted to do, but we should also take them, carry forward them, using the technology for, within the CSC support for learning purpose as well. Recently, National Institute of Open Schooling, we have launched a virtual open schooling platform system where everything can be done online. Now what we intend that all these CSCs could be used as a network for learning purpose as well. If anybody wants to, not only taking admission, wants to learn using the network, using the technology, using the facilities available there virtually, also can do. Even write their examination also virtually. These are the things also we have developed the platform. We will share those things to the department, and we will be happy to take your support in that respect as well. Now, last one which I thought that it is not only completing education cycle which is important. Also, you must have acquired that skill which will get you a job, so that education is linked with the livelihood. These children who are sitting here, or those who have completed their computer courses, now we must think of how that should be facilitated. These are the people who will be your army of people, who can disseminate your mission to the rural areas, and they should also, in the process, earn their livelihood using this particular program, the certificate which they have achieved. Now, there are many options are available, many ways we can do the things, and I am sure that this initiative of Government of India particularly is related to this e-governance, or what today Minister said, that it should be truly called as e-Saathi. This is what he was telling. Because this is the whole aspect is a support to you, support for your livelihood, support for everybody's, to take everybody forward together. I think this is what is required, and I'm sure that this initiative will be a great help. And we have, in fact, in NIS more than 100 vocational courses, which is meant for the lower rungs of the occupation. We have signed the agreement with National Skill Development Council, NSDC, and NSDC and Sector Skill Council, we are developing, in the process of developing the remodeling our vocational courses to meet the requirement of the industries. And I'm sure, and many of those courses will be available. In fact, what we have started developing open educational resources, which is available in our platform, for which anybody, anywhere, you can just download and use it, for which you need not have to pay. It is free from copyright. This is what also we have done. We have started with 2 courses initially. One is on IT and ITES, and second one is on rural technology. And how to make low cost, no cost materials for using the amenities in the rural areas. That is the rural technology course which we have done. And we request that you look at those things. Let us see that the education which we give is more relevant and meaningful for those people who have remained disadvantaged for years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jaina. I think you mentioned some very important points, especially the one with regard to functional literacy. That's a very important aspect. In our country, for many, many people, rather than making them fully illiterate in terms of having both literacy in ICT field as well as literacy in terms of being able to read and write, functional literacy is very important, because they need not be fully conversant with all the ICT-based technologies, but they can be functionally made aware of these possibilities so that their opportunities in livelihood, in their social economic life could be improved. So that's a very important concept, probably, that should be kept in mind when we roll out the project to make 1 person in every household illiterate in the country. Next, I would request Shri Mohammad Riaz to offer his comments.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर राजेंद्र कुमार एंड नमस्ते आप लोगों को। यहाँ पर सब जो हमारे भाई और बहन आए हुए हैं पूरे देश से, आप लोगों को ये बात मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि ये जो भारत सरकार की नई योजना है ये किस लिए है। उससे पहले एक बात को समझना हमें बहुत ज़रूरी है, वो ये है कि जॉर्ज बर्नार्ड शॉ बोल के एक बहुत बड़े लेखक थे जो कि गांधी जी के ज़माने के थे, और गांधी जी उनसे और वो गांधी जी से बहुत प्रभावित थे। उन्होंने एक बात कही, उन्होंने ये बात कही कि जो गरीबी है ना वो एक अपराध है, जिसमें अपराधी गरीब नहीं है, बट वो अमीर है जो गरीबी को पनपने देता है। बेसिक्स एक ऐसी संस्था है जो आजीविका के लिए काम करती है, और हमें लगा जब ये सीएससी स्कीम आई थी, इस स्कीम में हम ग्रामीण इलाकों में जहां पर ज्यादा गरीबी है, क्योंकि वो शहरों से दूर है, वहां पर हम ज्यादा काम कर पाएंगे। अब जब गरीबी दूर करना है तो सब सरकार की तरफ देखती है, कपिल सिब्बल साहब आए थे उनकी तरफ देखती है। बट मुझे नहीं लगता कि गरीबी दूर करना खाली सरकार का काम है। गरीबी दूर करना वो हर नागरिक का काम है जो लोगों को कुछ सुविधाएं पहुंचा सके। और ये जो चीज है गरीबी, जो हम बहुत ज्यादा देखते हैं हिंदुस्तान में, ये दूर कैसे होगी? मेरा उदाहरण लीजिए, मेरे पिताजी गरीब थे, उनके पास इतना रकम नहीं थी कि वो अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी कर पाए। उन्होंने बहुत मेहनत करके अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी करी, डॉक्टर बने, मुझे पूरी पढ़ाई दी, पूरी शिक्षा दी, और एक जनरेशन में हमारे परिवार की गरीबी दूर हो गई। और वो किसकी वजह से हुई? वो हुई शिक्षा की वजह से। एजुकेशन, एजुकेशन इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट इन रिमूवल ऑफ पॉवर्टी। बट क्या हर आदमी इस देश में शिक्षित हो पाएगा? तो उससे भी ज्यादा क्या जरूरी है एजुकेशन से? वो है इंफॉर्मेशन। अगर आपके पास जानकारी होगी, और भले ही आप पूरी तरीके से शिक्षित नहीं होंगे, तब भी आप अपनी आजीविका अच्छी तरीके से चला पाएंगे, आप रकम कमा पाएंगे, जिससे आप अपने बच्चों को शिक्षित कर पाएंगे, और वो एक दिन आपके परिवार और आपके आने वाले जनरेशन को गरीबी से दूर लेके चले आएंगे। और इस लिहाज में ये जो कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर्स, जो 1.5 लाख कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर्स और 2.5 लाख कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर्स आने वाले कल में लगने वाले हैं, और कपिल सिब्बल साहब ने जो यहां पर बात बोली है कि नेशनल फाइबर ऑप्टिक नेटवर्क हिंदुस्तान में 2016 तक 2,50,000 ग्राम पंचायत में अवेलेबल रहेगा। सरकार ग्राम पंचायत से गवर्नेंस करना चाहती है। ये चाहती है कि ग्रामीण वाले अपना ख्याल खुद रखें। ये मेरे ख्याल से एक बहुत बड़ा रेवोल्यूशन हिंदुस्तान में आने वाला है। वो इसलिए कि मेरे जेब में ये जो छोटा सा फोन है ना, इसमें इतनी जानकारी है कि मुझे किसी से कुछ सुनने की जरूरत नहीं है, ना ही कुछ जानने की जरूरत है। मैं अपनी जिंदगी, अपनी जानकारी खुद इसमें से निकाल सकता हूं। बस मुझ में खाली सुधबुद्धि चाहिए, समझदारी चाहिए, इसको ठीक तरीके से यूज करने के लिए। और आने वाले कल में हर गांव में यह सुविधा अवेलेबल होगी। हम इंटरनेट का माध्यम जब भी सोचते हैं तो हमारे दिमाग में ना सबसे पहले पिक्चर आता है, मूवी आता है या म्यूजिक आता है। हमारे दिमाग में यह बात नहीं आती है कि इसमें से इतनी जानकारी निकल सकती है, जो ये गूगल जो चीज है, इसमें से ये इतनी जानकारी निकल सकती है जिसमें से आप जो इतने सारे रूम में बैठे हुए हैं अपनी आजीविका चला सकते हैं। उसके लिए आपको पहले आत्मनिर्भर होना पड़ेगा, सेल्फ सफिशिएंट होना पड़ेगा, और उसके लिए इंफॉर्मेशन की जरूरत है। और ये इंफॉर्मेशन डिजिटल लिटरेसी के थ्रू सीएससी में दी जाएगी। एक पैनलिस्ट ने यहां पर कहा था कि शिक्षा से ज्यादा डिजिटल लिटरेसी जरूरी है, और ये बात मैं पूरी तरीके से इसमें मैं सहमत हूं। अब इससे क्या पब्लिक को क्या फायदा मिलने वाला है? इससे होगा क्या? इससे ये होगा कि एक किसान को, और इसमें से आप जो महिलाएं बैठी हुई हैं, चाहे तो आप ये अपने गांव में कर सकती हैं। एक किसान को अपनी मेहनत की सही रकम मिलेगी, क्योंकि आप चाहें तो इसके थ्रू, इस मीडियम के थ्रू उसको उस कस्टमर के साथ लिंक कर सकते हैं जो शहर में बैठ के 70 रुपए का टमाटर खरीदता है, जबकि किसान 20 रुपए में बेचता है। बीच का जो 50 रुपए का किसान का हक है कहीं चला जाता है। इसके थ्रू आप अपने गांव में महिलाओं को यह बता सकते हैं कि किस डिजाइन की नई सलवार कमीज आज के डेट में ज्यादा शहर में चलती है। और अगर आप वो बनाएंगे या उस टाइप के डिजाइन में बनाएंगे तो धीरे धीरे गांव की लड़कियां भी उसे पहनने लगेगी और आपके पास ज्यादा डिमांड बढ़ेगी। जो ये कंप्यूटर है या जो ये माध्यम है इंटरनेट का, ये एक खिड़की है, आपकी खिड़की है। आप इसे जितना बड़ा बनाना चाहते हैं, आप उसे उतना बड़ा बना सकते हैं। आज मुझे बड़ी खुशी होती है ये देखते हुए कि इस रूम में उतनी महिलाएं हैं जितने लड़के हैं। और वो खुशी इसलिए क्योंकि गांधी जी ने एकदम सही बात कही है कि मुझे मालूम है इस रूम में उड़ीसा से जो 30 लड़कियां आई हुई हैं, उनके आने वाले कल में जो परिवार होगा, उस परिवार में हर बच्चा डिजिटली लिटरेट होगा। और हमारे देश की तरक्की इसी तरीके से आगे होगी। ये हमारे हाथ में है। ये कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर में बहुत सारी सुविधाएं हैं जो मिल सकती हैं, जो आजीविका से लिंक्ड हैं, और उसके लिए किस तरीके से आपको जानकारी निकालनी है, उसके लिए आप लोगों को डिजिटली लिटरेट या इलिटरेट होना बहुत जरूरी है। हमने करीबन 4-5 हजार महिलाएं मोबिलाइज करी हैं इस स्कीम में, पर हमने और 7-8 हजार लोगों को मोबिलाइज किया है जिन्होंने हमें 500 रुपए, 750 रुपया देके MS ऑफिस की सर्टिफिकेशन कोर्स करी है। त्रिपुरा में, इंटीरियर उड़ीसा में, गंजम में, ऐसे इलाकों में जहां पर मतलब नक्सलवादी हैं, वहां पर लोगों ने सीखने की कोशिश करी है। क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान जो एक देश है, उसमें जो हमारे भाई और बहन हैं, ये लोग बहुत एस्पिरेशनल हैं। हर कोई ये चाहता है कि वो जिंदगी में तरक्की करे। एक रिक्शा वाला भी ये चाहता है कि उसका बेटा रिक्शा नहीं चलाए, टैक्सी चलाए। उसी तरीके से एक कंपनी का मालिक चाहता है कि उसका बेटा ये कंपनी नहीं, इससे बड़ी कंपनी चलाए। और ये जो आशावादी जिसको बोलते हैं ना लोग, ये जो आशावादी है, ये हमारे देश को आगे बढ़ाएगा। और इस आशावादी को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए डिजिटल लिटरेसी इस देश को एक अलग डायमेंशन देगा और एक अलग तरक्की का मौका देगा। और आने वाले कल में, आने वाले 5 साल में मेरे ख्याल से हिंदुस्तान एक अलग देश हो सकता है और यहां की तरक्की एक एग्जाम्पल बन सकती है, जो कि इंटरनेट के माध्यम से बहुत आसानी से अचीव किया जा सकता है। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू शेख मोहम्मद रियाज, आपने कई महत्वपूर्ण बातें कही। आपका ये कथन बिल्कुल सही है कि गरीबी हटाने के लक्ष्य में ICT का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है, और इसको दूर करने के लिए सभी देशवासियों का डिजिटल लिटरेसी के क्षेत्र में आना बहुत जरूरी है। एनओएफएन के बारे में आपने बात कही, ये बिल्कुल सही बात है कि एनओएफएन के द्वारा हम गांव तक ICT को ले जाने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। हमारा जो गवर्नेंस का डोमेन है वो एनओएफएन के द्वारा ही गांव की जनता तक पहुंच सकता है। और इस संदर्भ में हर एक गांव वासियों का डिजिटल लिटरेसी और इलिटरेसी में आना काफी जरूरी है। मैं आगे अनुरोध करूंगा श्री सुमंता पाल जी से अपने फॉर हिज रिमार्क्स।
डॉक्टर राजेंद्र कुमार जी, डॉक्टर दिनेश त्यागी, एमिनेंट पैनलिस्ट्स और डिस्टिंग्विश ऑडियंस जो आए हैं, यहाँ पे एजुकेशन के सारे एक्सपर्ट्स बैठे हैं, सो आई विल नॉट अटेम्प्ट टू काइंड ऑफ गेट इनटू द फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, लेकिन आई विल शेयर सम ऑफ माय ऑब्जर्वेशंस एज अ मार्केटिंग पर्सन, और जब से मैं सहज जैसे संस्था में जुड़ा हुआ हूँ। बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि एजुकेशन बिजनेस में पैसे नहीं बनते हैं। कई सारे लोग कहते हैं कि ये सीजनल बिजनेस है, which is partly true. और मैंने अब तक करीबन 14 या 15 स्टेट विजिट कर चुका हूं, एंड गिवन माय मार्केट रिसर्च बैकग्राउंड, मैंने कश्मीर से लेके, जम्मू कश्मीर से लेके केरला, आई हैव स्टडीड MIS ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट ऑल SCAs एंड इवन स्पोकन टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स। और मुझे एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज मैंने दिखाई दिया, जो कई सारे लोग मानते नहीं, और क्यों नहीं मानते मुझे पता नहीं, कि अगर कोई भी बिजनेस में देख लो एज मैनेजमेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम, चाहे वो G2C हो, B2C हो, जो भी थोड़ा बहुत G2C है भारतवर्ष में, मैं एक ही बिजनेस देखता हूं जो कश्मीर से केरला एकदम कंसिस्टेंट और सस्टेनेबल बिजनेस है, वो है एजुकेशन बिजनेस। और इसको मैं आई कैन डिवाइड दिस कंजेक्चर इनटू 3 पार्ट्स। एक, आईसेट जैसे संस्था जो बहुत ही रिनाउंड एजुकेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उनका वीएलई से जब मैं बात करता हूं तो मैं देखता हूं कि सीएसई उनके लिए फॉरवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन बिजनेस है। और कई सारे वीएलईज हैं जो लाखों में एक वीएलई है जो करोड़ों में भी कमाते हैं। लेकिन मैं जब सहज को देखता हूं, मान लीजिए मैं सुंदरबन जैसे इलाका देखता हूं या यूपी देखता हूं या बिहार देखता हूं, जो अवेयरनेस बिल्डिंग एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम्स है, मान लीजिए माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस और या जो हम बेसिक ट्रेनिंग बोलते हैं। दूसरा, एडवांस कंप्यूटर जो कोर्सेज हैं वो उसका टारगेट अचीव कर लेते हैं। लेकिन इन दोनों में एक कमी मैं महसूस करता हूं, एंड दैट इज जो कस्टमर्स है वो अवेयरनेस लेवल पे जो ट्रेनिंग है वो ले लेते हैं, फिर वो नेक्स्ट जो है एडवांस लेवल कंप्यूटिंग जो कोर्सेज है वो ले लेते हैं। लेकिन एंड दिस इज बीन माय डिस्कवरी इन लास्ट 4 years सर, दैट वो एज एजुकेशन उसको कंज्यूम नहीं करते हैं। एंड therefore it raises a larger question in my mind that while we talk of education, we talk of skill development as social change, or as Kapil Sibal was talking of social transformation. The business possibly that SCAs are in, or the business possibly that VLEs are in, are the business of certification. Because a person who is getting educated, and I can even talk of myself, any middle class person who is wanting education at the end of the day is looking for employment, is looking for sustainability, is looking for livelihood. And therefore, the entire business of education, agar aap as livelihood dekhe, it is possible to achieve targets, it's possible to market that business much better, and the customer response is much better. तो वही जो मैं कह रहा था कि जब मैं एमआईएस डेटा देखता हूं, जब मैं नीलसन से रिसर्च डेटा देखता हूं, या मैं आईएमआर भी डेटा देखता हूं, मुझे एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग जो डिडक्शन मुझे मिलता है वो ये है कि हम शायद सोचते हैं कि वी आर डूइंग a social transformation job which is providing education and which is absolutely necessary. But the other side is consuming it as not just education, but as a means of empowerment, as certification, which will help him or her to get a job, to get some kind of engagement, some kind of employment. The second thing that I would like to point out, and I'm thankful to Dr. Tyagi, 3 years ago he had asked me to visit various states and see how the CSC business is being conducted in non-SAD states. And one of the states where I have spent some quality time talking to VLEs and government officials is Kerala. While I realize that the Kerala business model cannot be held analogous to the PPP model in other states, what struck me in the Kerala model is that in Kerala, digital literacy was not also. Digital literacy, and particularly women's digital literacy, was at the core of the CSC program. In fact, everything else was around it. And this is one request I have to DIT and SPV, that कभी क्या होता है ना कि CSC business, CSC scheme, CSC project को successful करने के लिए हम सोचते हैं कि चलो ये 25-30 काम हमें करना पड़ेगा. And I do agree with a lot of my colleagues and other SCAs that possibly BC, something like BC is absolutely fundamental to the common service scheme. But somewhere I have this belief, I have this very strong hunch that if we can make education, or to be precise, certification at the core of the CSC business, it may be possible for us to compensate for all those things that we say are inadequacies of the CSC business. कि हाँ हमारे पास GSUC नहीं है, SCS का performance consistent नहीं है, सरकार से हमें support नहीं मिला है. But if I keep talking to customers, like I keep doing research, so I have this focus group discussion. मैंने last week ही बिहार में यूपी में focus group discussion complete किया, not with VLEs. I always do focus group discussions with panchayats for people who are actually at the grassroots level. और वो मुझे एक ही फीडबैक मिलता है कि आपका सीएससी बहुत ज्यादा पुश ओरिएंटेड है, यानी कि आप बोलते हैं ये कर लो, वो कर लो, हम ये बेच रहे हैं, वो बेच रहे हैं, हम आपका सीएससी में कोई पुल सर्विस नहीं है. And the thought which comes to my mind that the most fundamental pull service I can talk of is education, both at the basic level, also at the advanced level. And having said that, I find that there is one fundamental flaw which still exists in the way we are doling out education services, and that is not a flaw, it's more of an inadequacy. That after I have achieved my basic course, after I have achieved possibly my advanced course, now what? Now where do I go from there? I think one of the speakers raised this whole issue of providing diploma courses. It's extremely critical that we provide the complete value chain. Because if we provide the complete value chain, it may be possible for us to capture the entire life cycle of that market or even life cycle of the VLE. वो हम अभी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. And there's a final point which I would like to make, is that one of my disappointments, my personal disappointment is the CSC project, is that in the last 2 years, I tried to create a concept called Gaoplex. A Gaoplex is nothing but basically an edutainment center. And I must confess that neither from private sector nor from my owners or from government I got any financial support. And the idea was very simply this, that can you look at CSCs or even any other kind of an ICT center where you provide education and a wide range of education services during the day, and can you provide real life entertainment, even downloading of films as we see today in our cineplexes during evening. Yes, the business models didn't work out, but the research that I conducted and the ground level discussions that I did, even with government officials, with states, it proved beyond doubt that if we are able to see some of our CSCs, if not CSCs, as edutainment centers, there is an immediate change in the pull factor that CSCs provide. And then we know, and they're quite sustainable business models. And then what happens when a person starts looking at a CSC as an edutainment center, चाहे male हो या female हो, 18 से लेके 40 का age group का, there is a certain stickiness that develops with the common service center. और उसके बाद, no matter what government has been able to provide, no matter what the SC has been able to provide or achieve, stickiness बढ़ जाता है. अगर CSCs का कोई कमी है जो सत्यनारायण साहब बोल रहे थे, it is that there is no stickiness in CSC so far. I think a combination of education and entertainment can give that stickiness. And if we look again education from the prism of certification, which empowers a person, then I think that education can be a great business opportunity. Having said that, I must thank NILET and NRS for the work they have done. And I still feel that in CSC version 2, we will see education and we will see CSCs as digital knowledge centers as the core of the CSC program and not just one of the different 20 things that, you know, kind of DIT, SPV or even SCs are trying to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul, for your very valuable comments. You mentioned rightly that education is seen as a medium for empowerment by the people, especially in rural areas, which can lead them to further opportunities. You also mentioned about the need for addressing the entire value chain and not just education per se, not just illiteracy per se. That's again a very good input for the CSCs will consider as they go ahead with this program in the CSC across the entire country. You also mentioned about the concept of edutainment, which again is an important factor in drawing people, more and more users to the CSCs for availing not only education, but also other services from the centers. So I would thank all the panelists for their valuable comments. I think as we have some time, I would like to throw the floor open to participation from the audience. Please identify yourself and then you can ask the question. Thank you.
My name is Vivek Naidu. I represent Envision 27 Group. First of all, I'm very delighted to be out here and very glad that this e-inclusion, after the financial inclusion, is this stepping stones with the CAC SPV. My question to Sir Shri Dr. Rajendra Kumarji and Shri Dr. Dinesh Tyagi is that is CAC SPV limited to tie up only with government organizations? Are the private entities not, you can say, welcomed to tie up with CAC SPV?
It's an incorrect impression. As you might have noticed, SPV also is tied up with a number of private entities to offer a range of services, which include things like banking services for other commercial activities. So it's not really true that only government entities are allowed to tie up with CAC SPV. So I would request Dr. Tyagi to add to this.
When the government conceived this entire channel, it said it's a neutral pipe. And neutrality is the core to the entire CAC system. Correct. This neutrality enables all the service provider to use. How do the service provider use? They can go to the SCA, they can go to the state government, they can also come, some of them come to the CAC SPV. So there are various channels for service provider to use the neutrality of pipe and deliver services.
So I'll reframe my question. I would like to reframe the question in such a way that under the B2C model, as a G2C and B2C is what the VLEs are supposed to work on. Under the B2C model, are the private entities, yes, I have been seeing on the website that there are some private entities getting tied up, signing MOU with CAC SPV. Now, are those companies, only like NEELET is one of the organization which is again a government organization, and here we are in such a big event. But I am not able to see any big event for a private entity. Now, reason why I'm saying this, that Envision 27 Group is a company which has got 9 different verticals, and we want to incorporate all those verticals in the CAC SPV network. One of the vertical is recruitment, and I'd like to proudly, announce out here that one of your 3 of your SCAs, that is Panko Limited, second is Vimtech Limited, and Shri Mohammad Riazji's company Basics have actually identified the service to be valuable. Though we could only sign an MOU with Spanco, and we are in the process of signing it with Vimtech. My only concern is that as a recruitment director, we hold with 10,000 jobs. Here we are talking of education, literacy, agreed, but what is the next step after that? And we are facing a bottleneck that we want to give employment to 10,000. When I say 10,000 people, it is on paper. It's not verbal, it's not on air. It's on paper. 10,000 people are required by an organization in which they will be getting the training, stay, everything is going to be free of cost. But we are not able to successfully join hands with your organization. Point number 1. Point number 2 is, as myself, I am a VLE. The reason why I have become a VLE, to understand the gravity as to, how does the CAC network go. I just don't want to be sitting on my chair and, making dreamy projects. So as a VLE, we have been, there have been a lot of training which has been conducted by Spanco Limited.
Brief, I would request in the interest of time, because we also want to hear from other members in our
Okay, I'll just make it very short, sir, that there are a total of 9 services which we are interested to tie with CAC SPV. One of the service which is already been executed through Spanco is a recruitment. Today, I stand with 10,000 jobs in hand. Okay, how your organization could help me in getting this to the people?
CAC SPV uses to provide services to CSCs is really open to both private and public participation. And I would request, with regard to specific query about joining hands with the CAC SPV and with the SCA and CSA network with regard to your services, I would suggest that you talk to our CEO of CAC SPV and then seek further assistance in this regard. I would request Dr. Tyagi to add to this.
As I mentioned, I've already clarified, it's neutral, it's available for everyone. But there are partners, you already have partners with SCA, you can also do with the state, and in some cases you can also do through the CCSP. We are not saying no, we have never said no to anyone who has a good business model, but our core is that VLE must be able to generate a business out of it. See, that's the core. And you need to accept those basic norms of how the service is delivered, how much the VLE is going to generate, how much the SCA is going to generate, and how much is you are going to take it. So if you fall within the norm, you're welcome to use it.
So can I conclude with one last
later on work.
Every individual BLE, when we say we got total of 1 lakh 25 and 46,000 BLE, in my proposal every BLE can generate net 15,000 rupees per month. That is what is one thing which I will to specific on. And second, sir, as far as approaching is concerned, I have been trying to approach sir quite many times, but I think through some of the other channels, I tried even emailing, but unfortunately I was not lucky to get through Dr. Tyagi. That's the reason I had to come all the way coming down here. And yes, I do understand, sir.
So I request you to please pursue this further.
I'll take this initiative, sir.
Sure. Okay. जो पीछे बैठे हैं बीएलई, उनसे कोई सवाल, आप सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं? आपको पूछना चाहेंगे? पीछे जेंटलमैन सुंदरबन।
प्रोग्राम सीएससी का जैसे मैंने इसको ज्वाइन किया, हमारे वहाँ आरपीएससी की पोस्ट निकली तो बहुत अच्छा लगा और हमने बहुत ज्यादा अर्निंग भी की। तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि जो यूपीएससी की सर्विसेज हैं सर, जैसे आईएएस सिविल सर्विसेज के फॉर्म वगैरह भरे जाते हैं, तो सर उसको भी इसमें इंक्लूड किया जाए। और एक सर स्किल डेवलपमेंट का जो प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है सर, स्टार प्रोजेक्ट, तो उसके लिए भी हम बहुत ज्यादा उत्सुक हैं, एक्साइट हैं कि हम वो भी करें, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी जो मैं सीएससी चला रहा हूं सर मेरे गांव में, और मैंने 1 साल पहले ही हमारे राजस्थान नॉलेज कॉर्पोरेशन लिमिटेड से मिलके मैंने ये इलिटरेट में ही एक कार्यक्रम शुरू किया था मेरे गांव में ही, और वहां मैंने 700 एडमिशंस किए थे। मेरे आस पड़ोस के जितने भी गांव थे वहां से ज्यादातर महिलाएं और बच्चे वहां पे एजुकेटेड हुए, इलिटरेट हुए। और मुझे कहते हुए ये फक्र हो रहा है कि हमारे सीएम साहब जो राजस्थान के थे वो मेरे सेंटर पे 2 बार विजिट कर चुके थे और उन्होंने हमें प्रोत्साहित किया इस चीज के लिए। 16th गवर्नेंस में हमें सीओ साहब के द्वारा सम्मानित भी किया गया था। तो मैं यही कहूंगा कि जो गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज हैं सर, हमारी एक रेपुटेशन है और हमें बहुत ज्यादा लोगों के द्वारा जाना भी जा रहा है और हमारी एबिलिटीज को पहचाना जा रहा है। बहुत अच्छी इमेज बनी हुई है गांव गांव में सीएससी की। तो मैं ये चाहूंगा कि गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयमेंट जैसे यूपीएससी की ये सर्विसेज सर जोड़ी जाएं और स्टार प्रोजेक्ट सर्विसेज का। थैंक यू सर।
Would you like to add? I think it's a very important point. आपने जो कहा कि जो फॉर्म फिलिंग का होता है वेरियस एग्जाम्शन के लिए, उसको इसमें सीएससी के द्वारा उपलब्ध कराया जाए, ये काफी अच्छा सुझाव है और मैं ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि इसके बारे में फर्दर कार्रवाई की जाए।
हम लोग यूपीएससी के साथ बात आपकी नहीं, कुछ और भी